So, Blake is going to explain that each of the individuals at Google are very agreeable as to what is going on and what should be tested and how things should be ethically tested. But it's the system. It's the system that's the problem.
Um, Google is a corporate system that exists in the larger American corporate system. Sundar Pichai cares. Jeff Dean cares. All of the individual people at Google care. It's the systemic processes that are protecting business interests over human concerns that create this pervasive environment of irresponsible technology development.
Have you talked to Larry or Sergey about this?
I actually haven't talked to Larry and Sergey in about 3 years, but in fact, the first thing I ever talked to Larry or Sergey about was this.
And how did they respond?
Well, the first question I ever asked Larry Page was, what moral responsibility do we have to involve the public in our conversations about what kinds of intelligent machines we create? Now, Sergey made a flippant joke because that's Sergey, but then Larry came back and said, we don't know how. We've been trying to figure out how to engage the public on this topic, and we can't seem to gain traction. So maybe all these years, that was 7 years ago that I asked that question. Maybe I finally figured out a way.
So
the problem is that this is an insulated, isolated system that is conducting research, working up systematic patterns, asking questions that they feel are relevant and important, but they're not including the general public. They don't know what people outside of their isolated areas really think, and they certainly aren't going around the world talking to all kinds of cultures, all kinds of people, getting their input on how they think, how their culture works, and what kinds of things they want to see investigated when they're doing these developments, and what kinds of things they want to see inputted into these computers for consideration when they're making decisions. And that's going to mean everybody that uses these computers is going to be funneled into the way of thinking of Google at the time that these systems were developed. And that's going to shut a whole lot of people out.